You missed my awesome joke.
I'm gonna grab a water.
You grab a water if you're a dumb bitch.
I'm drinking some dumb bitch juice.
Man, Tyler's a dumb bitch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, there's a lot of shit to talk about. We didn't do it last week.
What? We never talk about Harry Styles wearing a
We didn't talk
dress.
about Harry Styles wearing a dress. We didn't talk about Elliot Page.
Oh yeah.
We didn't talk about there's other shit that we were gonna talk about. Ben Shapiro in general.
Wait, what did he do?
He's just fucking dumb. Everything he does is dumb.
Okay.
Fuck him. I hope he dies.
Earlier today, I said I wish he was born in 1943.
No, don't say that. All he wants to do is claim he's a victim. That's all he wants to do.
Yeah.
I mean, in 1943 Poland.
He was definitely a victim.
Sure.
But I think he wouldn't have been
But
so hating
he's
of
not
gays
even like.
if he survived the
He
Holocaust.
doesn't even act like a Jew. He acts like a fucking Catholic retard. Well, yeah. Which is the same thing as Catholic.
Nice.
You know the joke in SpongeBob where he's shaped like Texas, and Patrick goes, "You're an idiot." He goes, "No, I'm Texas."
Yeah.
What's the difference? Thank you, SpongeBob. Thank you forever.
What?
Yeah. You know,
Isn't that
retards,
just
aka Catholics.
Yeah. What's the difference? Show me a picture of a retard and a Catholic priest. They're the same picture. Have you seen that? Movie?
Yeah, yeah.
They're literally the same picture.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of those. Yeah. No. Like we don't have to like preach to the choir here with the trans stuff. But like
Okay, well,
just to be like Ben Shapiro's just dumb in general.
yeah.
Oh, did he say something about Elliot Page?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's like, no matter what you do, you will never be a man, and I will never refer to you as a man. But it's like,
I bet you.
there's times when people talk about trans people and they're trying to be offensive. That's when you get the meme of people being like, he's a man, and they just say yes. Because like, yes, you're trying to misgender, but you did it wrong. Because you're going based off what they look like more. And if they look more like the other, then it's literally easier to just call them that. So
Yeah.
like, I understand being
I bet
confused
you-
if someone hasn't really gone too far yet, but
I bet you if you showed Ben Shapiro that picture of the streamer you showed me.
ContraPoints.
Yeah.
ContraPoints is popular.
He would
Yeah.
call her a girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She sounds like a woman too.
Yeah.
She's very passable. But the thing is, if you're a dude and you wear makeup and you put on women's clothing that like shows off your body more, you will look like a woman. Like people in drag.
Cloud did it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Cloud pulled it off. Everyone loves that version of
Yeah.
Cloud.
Have you ever seen drag in general? Like,
Yeah.
They look like women.
Sometimes, well, like the thing is, they will overdo it on purpose because drag is like its own style. But when they actually try, it's hard to tell. And I think that makes people uncomfortable. If like all it takes is you shaving your legs, that's all it fucking takes. A little makeup, and all of a sudden you're like, why am I like? You think you're attracted to women, and then you're like, no, I'm attracted to what women do. Like it doesn't take that much effort for a man to look like a woman.
This used to be my favorite type of meme way back in the day.
The trap meme, or
Pretty much, yeah. Like with where it'd be like it looks like a woman in a dress, like a sundress.
Yeah.
And then they like
They have
stand in front of the sun or whatever, and
you
their
can see their dick.
their
Yeah.
dicks just hanging like down to their knees.
It's
That's so funny.
Every single one of those I've ever seen has made me die laughing.
yeah. Like,
That's
that's the thing though. Like it's true.
I think drag's awesome because they're like
You wanna do
outrageous
it?
on what?
No, I'm just joking. Go ahead.
They're like outrageous on purpose, and
Yeah.
they like let people make fun of them.
Yeah,
They
that's
like embrace it. I think it's funny. They like it's like a huge middle finger to.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
basically what it is. It's really cool. I mean, I don't like a lot of gender stereotypes in general. I think a lot of them are pretty stupid. So anything that goes against that, I'm fine with. So I don't. The one thing I hate the most is when I listen to music and people go, "I didn't think you would like this." And it's like, just shut up, just shut up, leave me alone.
Yeah.
And I just turn up louder and.
Like when I listen to Taylor Swift.
Yeah, you're always listening to that Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, God, Shane, turn this shit up. I love it.
Taylor. You did that really well.
That like actually took you a second.
Or Taylor Swift, Ariana Grande.
I know a lot of people who actually really like Ariana Grande. I don't get it. I think she's not terrible, but she's just run of the mill, like, generic.
Yeah, she's very generic.
I think a lot of people like musicians who are attractive.
I could have told you that.
No, but I think well, it's like.
But that's like why they.
Yeah, they don't really care about the music that much.
I could have told you that.
Okay, well, tell me right now. Just.
That's literally like every musician from the 2000s.
I know, but like so okay, but you can be attractive and make good music.
Yeah.
But a lot of people just only really care about their looks I mean like
a lot of famous people are famous because they're attractive.
Yeah, and I mean like men and women will look at
Megan Fox. Horrible actress.
Yeah. Well,
super hot.
To be fair, they cast her in this one particular role.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Hey, can we just objectify you?" And she's like, "Well, I did pay for this surgery, so yes."
That's actually why you don't see her in stuff anymore, too.
Yeah.
She's like refused to do those kind of roles.
And I'll say this. I like that first Ninja Turtles movies with her, but it is a bad movie. It is only good because the Ninja Turtles are in it. But like she is so bad in it. Her line delivery is terrible. You can tell she does not give a shit. It's good because Will Arnett is in it, and he's actually trying a little bit.
He's a genuinely good actor.
Yeah.
What's that one with him and Let's Go to Prison? And it's got.
I don't know if that. Oh wait, was he in that movie?
He was.
Dude, Will Arnett is so good.
That was a.
Let's Go to Prison's a good movie.
Yeah.
But
you're right. That is Will Arnett. I haven't seen it in so long.
I haven't either. It was on Netflix for a long time, and then they took it off.
I think now.
Well, Netflix loves Will Arnett, but yeah, go ahead.
I think now it's more of a minority that attractive people are only famous for being attractive.
I think more people are listening to the music and looking at videos less because TV doesn't exist as much, and people would rather just.
Say that's the complete. I think more people are watching videos.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think more people because like I don't know.
You can just pull it up on your phone.
I agree, but I just use Spotify and shit. I don't even listen. I listen to there's this band I was listening to and I loved them and I had no idea that they all wore like emo makeup and shit. I just was like
Green Day?
No, I knew Green Day.
Huh?
He listened to all of Dose before he was like, oh
Right.
wait.
Green Day used to look like punk rock. They'd have like blue hair and wear like spikes and shit. And then for American Idiot, they just wore all black and had mascara for like they never had mascara before.
Yeah.
And it was just because like My Chemical Romance was getting popular, and people kept calling Green Day emo, and I was like, but they're not emo genre, like musically.
Yeah.
Musically, they're punk rock still, but like they dress like emo, so like confusing people on purpose to get more sales, I guess. Because My Chemical Romance was huge at the time.
The problem is, go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, you go ahead.
Okay, they just got into the punk scene at the wrong time. Because that was right when pop punk was becoming like...
People credit them as for inventing pop punk. And if you define pop punk as like commercial success punk, then maybe. But I would call it more punk rock, like Offspring. I wouldn't call the Offspring pop punk, you know? I call them punk rock.
Yeah.
And the thing is that because when you listen to the bass and the drums, they're going so fast. The drummer for Green Day is amazing. He just doesn't chill. He just goes crazy. And then pop punk is like Blink-182, where it's like they're literally playing like chords. Like they're playing like this could be a Journey song, this could be a Queen song or something. But they just play it so it sounds slightly punk. So people are like, it's not pop, it's punk, but it's punk punk.
One of my friends, the Spotify rap. Yeah, we were talking about that.
Spotify
Blink-182 was like his third
the wrap up
favorite.
thing. Yeah. Well, Blink-182 fans think Blink-182 is the coolest shit ever, and if you listen to Blink-182, it means you're cool, and they're very proud to show it. Yeah, I know.
It's so bad.
The first 3 albums aren't bad though.
I like literally like that very first album, with like Damn It on it.
Dude Ranch, yeah.
That album is like legitimate. That's what punk rock should sound like.
Right.
If they kept in that direction, that's what they'd be, a punk rock band. But I think they're just like, let's make all the small things and get rich now. And
it was.
And I won't hate them if that's the direction they want to go in, because pop punk was kind of new at the time. But I fucking hate that.
They
song.
sold out was the problem.
Yeah.
Like all the small things was really bad.
And they have two singers, and when they were in like that punk mode, they're both like meh meh meh. But then like when All Small Things came out, and he's like, I hate the way he sings. So
all
much.
the small
It's like
Yeah.
it's the worst shit. And then it's like very apparent that you can only like one guy sings quiet and one guy sings loud, because they can't do the opposites. So when they broke up and they both were singers in their own bands, they were fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Because they have no range. They can only do one fucking thing. And the drummer for that band, very good. Blink-182 has a very good drummer. But he has to play fucking like very basic drum like beats all the time, because they have to do these like the stupid little Beatles chords that they're just disguising as punk rock.
Yeah.
But people who are like, pop punk, let me tell you something. Nirvana is like pop. They use pop chords in their music too. And then when you go back, the Ramones is just a pop band. And they're like the quintessential punk band. But they're just literally pop, okay? So just shut the fuck up with like credibility. It's just genres, okay? It's just all it is. You get too focused. People get too focused on emo and pop. That's buzzwords. It's just genres of music. You can't get too focused on that shit.
Nirvana did that like just with Nevermind. Really.
Yeah. Well, Bleach is a straight up punk album.
Yeah.
And I love it. As a punk fan, I fucking love Bleach.
In Utero is kind of like that too.
Yeah, In Utero goes to that like true grungy sound.
Yeah, that's their grungiest album.
I think that oh wait, sorry, I was thinking Incesticide. In Utero is like that perfect blend of like, this is radio music, but also grunge as fuck.
Well, not all the songs are either. Like, what's it? Francis Farmer will have a Revenge on Seattle. It's just got like that loud guitar squeal.
Yeah,
like
I love that distorted like guitar sound that they do for grunge is great. Nirvana's good.
They also had "Rape Me" on that one.
Yeah.
And, although you do hear that on the radio sometimes.
People, that song was like, people didn't want that song to happen, and Kurt was like, no. I really don't care. I really don't care. This entire time I never cared.
Yeah.
That's why they made Incesticide after Nevermind. Instead of following it up with another banger, they're just like, nah, let's just like do like what we used to do.
Yeah.
People will buy it because we're Nirvana.
I fucking love Incesticide.
Mm-hmm. I like the more punkier stuff.
Rape Me, the beginning sounds almost exactly
it
like
sounds
Smells
like the Spirit.
Yeah,
my friend would play.
It's a little bit quieter.
My friend learned that and Smells Like Teen Spirit on guitar, and he would play it, and we didn't know which one he would do. We didn't know which one was which.
I swear to God, he did that on purpose.
He did. It had to be.
Yeah.
Because he hates that song.
He hates that song.
So he put in a song called "Rape Me."
Yeah.
That's been my theory.
You're like, flipping channels. You're like, oh, Smells Like Teen Spirit, my favorite song. And he's like, "Rape Me."
Like, apparently there was like a concert where
he started
playing "Rape Me," and then but no one heard that song yet.
Yeah.
So he just started saying "Rape Me," and people were like, "What is going on?" Then he's like, "Okay, I'll play Lithium. I'm just kidding."
Yeah. No, he started. He didn't start singing it. He just started playing the opening chords.
Yeah.
And then he turned to Lithium. He's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Lithium is like their most like pop sounding song.
Yeah.
That's why but it's really good. It's a really good song. I really like Lithium.
Especially, I think Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Nirvana though. Let me tell you something. Nirvana. That's one of the bands that I actually kind of prefer listening to live over like the normal versions.
Yeah, like their live albums are.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Because like their like guitar is just like barely tuned correctly, and it just sounds fucking awesome. And
I think
Kurt Cobain can't sing the best, but like his live performances are like good enough to work.
Yeah.
I love it.
I think Nirvana's one of those bands where like
they
just do so much better in front of
that's
a crowd.
grunge.
Yeah,
that's like being in the shit. You gotta go in there.
They feed off the crowd so much.
Yeah,
so well.
It's that punk metal vibe.
Yeah. That's just good shit.
I gotta send you guys this video I've like randomly found on YouTube of Nirvana just being Nirvana.
Yeah,
and it's like it's three of them in an interview. Mm-hmm. Dave Grohl's in the bathtub taking a bath. Chris Novoselic's taking a shit on the toilet, and Kurt Cobain's just like sitting there. And he grabs Dave Grohl's sock and he's like, "Here, wipe with this." And Dave's like, "No, not my sock."
Have you ever seen the videos of him fighting with Axl Rose?
No.
That's
amazing.
Yeah,
like they talk in person or?
Yeah, they hated each other. Yeah, Kurt Cobain.
Yeah.
And Axl Rose just like absolutely hated each other.
They there was Nirvana's whole point was fuck like 80s.
Yeah, they were trying to well, Guns N' Roses was like a return to actual metal, but nothing happened with that.
Yeah.
Like they're like, "Oh, we're like it's like what pop punk does." We're like, "Oh, you guys like punk? Well, like, you guys like pop? What if we give you some Paramore? How about that?" And Guns N' Roses was like, "What if we make like pop metal?" And
because Slash is a really good guitarist.
Guns N' Roses is actually awesome.
Yeah.
But like the thing is that no one else did that after them. No one was making metal after Guns N' Roses. Like they're the last ones, except for like Pantera, but they weren't making numbers like
Guns N' Roses.
Like real metal bands like Testament and Pantera were not doing well. They were doing poorly.
Yeah.
But there was supposed to be this huge tour with Metallica, Guns N' Roses, and Nirvana when Nirvana was like still small, which is like the three biggest bands of all time at that year.
Yeah.
And then like Nirvana was like, obviously they're like, we're not fucking doing that shit.
Yeah.
And then Guns N' Roses, Axl Rose is a huge diva, so he just wouldn't play half the time. So it's just a Metallica tour. Like, thanks. You guys are great friends.
Well, yeah. There's another scene from that video. It's like when they did their SNL performance. Yeah. At the end, you know, when everyone's like hugging, they like kiss each other on the lips, like, and they're at the front of the crowd, and so like Rick like goes up and kisses each of them.
That's amazing. I'm gonna have to try to put that in.
It's so good.
That's so funny.
I'll send you the video. It's so funny. Like they do like so much. This interview comes up to him and he's like, "You don't like being interviewed?" And he's like, "No, I fucking hate interviews." Like, did the girl tell you what I said to her when she asked if I would do an interview?
Yeah.
I said, "Fuck no."
I love
because he was asking him like stupid questions. He was like, "What's the meaning of the or something?"
I feel like maybe if he was still alive now, because like Dave Grohl loves interviews. He does that shit like crazy. But it's because they aren't young and they have time to reflect and show respect to stuff.
Yeah.
But back then
they were just like, "Fuck you."
Well, they got way too much press and coverage. Like they needed to die down. Like Foo Fighters was popular for a while, but now they're just like your dad's rock band that just kind of exist.
Yeah.
And they still like are really popular,
dude,
but
and new Foo Fighters will be like amazing sometimes. Sometimes they just come out with an album that's just amazing.
They had a new song that I'm pretty sure they released for the first time on SNL.
Yeah.
And that I watched, and I thought it was one of their old songs. I looked it up and it was like, oh, it came out like yesterday or whatever.
It's
and I was like, what
Dave
the fuck?
Grohl still exists in the 90s. Like he doesn't know what year it is.
Yeah.
But yeah. Dave Grohl is just a really good musician. Yeah.
He's just good at everything.
I love Dave Grohl. But Dave Grohl is the one. He's like the kooky, more relatable one because like Kurt and Chris were kind of more out there. Mm-hmm. So it's really cool that
Dave's like the goofball.
Yeah. It's really cool that they exist as a trio.
Yeah.
So yeah, and also that like Kurt and Dave were like pretty good friends too. They got along really well. So.
Well, they were in like some show. And Chris is like, "We're Nirvana. We're the band you see too much of on TV. Watch a different channel, please."
Yeah. That's part of why a lot of bands wanted to get big, but then like Pearl Jam was the same way after they got big. They're like, okay, fuck off. And that's why they kind of made whatever music they wanted to.
I don't think Nirvana ever wanted to get big like that.
None of them really did. Well, like, they wanted to be a band on the radio and make money. Yeah. But they didn't want to be the face of a generation.
Right.
They didn't want to redefine MTV and then have MTV base everything off of their style. Like, flannels got popular just because, like, Kurt Cobain wore them sometimes.
And Eddie Vedder.
Yeah. All the grunge bands started wearing like flannels, but apparently like some bands didn't even want to be grunge in the 90s, and people would be like, you gotta wear flannels, dude. You gotta look like a grunge band. So, just like Alice in Chains, they're still grunge, but they're on that edge of being like heavy metal. Soundgarden's the same way.
Yeah.
They're on that edge of being like heavy metal, but like they just were advertised as like a grunge band. They're still grunge, okay? But still, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
They definitely took their inspiration from metal. Both Soundgarden is just like has straight up metal albums. It's great. I love it. All right, that's our 90s grunge section.
That's our segment.
We all like grunge here. We're all boys.
Yeah.
Sorry to everyone else.
My sister, Savannah,
Yeah.
hates my music. I'm like, all you listen to is fucking shit.
I like when she listens to like the old stuff, like the classic stuff that I like.
She likes.
I don't like any new
stuff,
music.
But then she like really likes like Taylor Swift and Ariana Grande and all that bullshit. I'm like,
that's just part of like
call my music bad.
It's part of the thing, being around girls. It fucking sucks. You have to find someone who's like just fucking crazy and out there like Val, who just doesn't exist in the real world. It's the only way. She's stuck
in the 60s, I swear.
It's the only fucking way. It's really hard to deal with girls.
She's like literally a time traveler from the 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate Taylor Swift, by the way. That was a joke earlier. Just so we're clear.
For legal.
When that new album came out and Jenna was super hyped on it, she sold it to me like it was like a really cool, like it was gonna be based more on like folk music, because I think the album was even called like Folklore or something. And I listened to it and I was like, oh, this is like, okay, this is still really bad, but like she had a song about like wanting her friend to forgive her, and people were like, this is really mature of her. It's like a song about her talking to another girl, because Taylor Swift's music is super sexist and problematic. It is super like, don't touch my man, boys are here to be our accessories, dating is all that matters. And then like I was like hearing a song about like her asking for forgiveness from her friend because they ruined their friendship over a relationship. But then Jenna explained it to me, and she was super excited to explain it to me, and it immediately made me hate the song because it's sung from a dude's perspective where he cheated on the girl, and he's like, come back with me, and that's what the whole song's about. And I'm like, why are you telling people to forgive cheaters? This is just Taylor Swift being Taylor Swift. I hate this shit. If your song's gonna suck ass, try to give it a good message. If you're gonna do neither, then I will not listen to you. I hate Taylor Swift so much. It's the worst. The worst.
She's so bad.
The worst.
I don't understand.
I would literally rather have a daughter and be like, listen to Cardi B. She's a better role model than Taylor Swift. I'm not joking.
At least Cardi B is like proud of herself. She's like,
yeah, no, I'm not even joking.
Right.
Well, most times girls will listen to like like any girl you know, any white girl you know, listens to the most. They just listen to rap music where black dudes are just like talking about fucking constantly. That's all they listen to.
Yeah.
All they listen to is like insane sex music. So I have no problem. But most people just find that shit funny. Like most people, like Cardi B is just funny. No one takes that shit seriously. So
I mean, WAP is like,
it's hilarious.
It's a meme song. Like,
it's literally it's a joke. It's the whole thing. I get it. She does like sex, but like guys do the same thing. When guys talk about sex, they're just like, they just say gross stuff. They're just like, I want the stinkiest pussy you got. Like, the browner the better. Like, they just say disgusting shit. You know, like, I don't know that many. Like, I can't think of any off the top of my head. I know, like, people like, sex is like pizza. Like, even if it's shitty, it's still pretty good. Like, that's all I know off the top of my head. But.
Well, like, what's that song by Rob Zombie? I think it's Rob Zombie, right?
What song? He's got a lot.
It's the one with like, it starts out with like
with
the
moaning?
one. Yeah.
That's More Human Than Human by White Zombie, which is Rob Zombie's band. So,
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That song's good.
Or Fuck Me Gently by Tenacious D.
Yeah, it's a good song. There's a lot of good songs about sex.
Medium Pace by Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Have you heard that one?
No.
Medium Pace. That song is just outlandish on purpose.
It is. It is.
Fuck me with a strap on at a medium pace.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Take that shampoo bottle and shove it up my ass.
Adam Sandler doing his stupid voices and talking about gross stuff. That's all it is. And it's funny. Yeah, normally sex and comedy just goes together because sex is way too awkward to take seriously.
Yeah.
Like, it's only good in the moment when because you're like, it's like you're on a drug basically because it fucks with your emotions. And then afterwards, you're like, all right, let's let's chill. Okay? That's why you cuddle after because you're like, no more of that. So, it's
that was kind of weird, huh?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know what that was about.
Can't believe that just happened.
It's like, well then,
yeah.
Who wants tacos?
Babooga.
Yeah. Well,
Babooga.
that was a real babooga move. Yeah, no. That's why everyone's gay. Everyone's bisexual because sex is really weird.
It's also like way easier to have sex with men. Like they have,
well, yeah,
they have the whole like grinder thing where it's like literally pull down your pants. I'm here. Like,
it can be easy to have sex with women, but.
What are you trying to say here?
Like if you go on those apps and
Yeah.
I can't even talk to them for like 1 second. It's like, no. But they're like, you want to meet up? I'm like, no. I don't want to meet anyone in person. That shit's terrifying.
Yeah.
It's
awkward.
It's so awkward.
So awkward.
And then they smell like shit or something. There's always something weird. They don't look like their pictures or something. And then they listen to Taylor Swift.
I can only get off if I listen to Taylor Swift.
Like, can we please listen to Taylor Swift? Like hey, let's put on some music to set the mood. Like, all right, fine, yeah, that makes sense. And they just put on Taylor Swift.
I'd rather a girl piss on me than play Taylor Swift.
I mean, if it wasn't the face, yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly.
just like
so
throw a cup of pee on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. We're not getting naked. Just go in the other room, come back, and just throw it in my face like I said something inappropriate to you.
I can't get off without saying babooga at least once.
I'm gonna babooga. It's a really big one. You know that video, like my longest yeah boy, like my longest babooga. And then she's just like laying there like she was having a good time.
Yeah.
But now she's just like laying there like.
But I'm still like
like okay, so you've been watching Always Sunny.
Yeah.
Anytime they show Dennis having sex and his head just pops up and he's like dripping in sweat.
And he's like straight. His face is like red.
Yeah. Sex is really funny.
Did you see that Always Sunny got extended for
why?
18th season?
Why? I mean, I'm gonna watch it. But
yeah.
Why? Why does it keep going? I haven't actually watched like the last like 2 seasons. But if is it on? What's it on? Is it on Hulu only or
Hulu?
It's not on Netflix anymore? It used to have like the whole thing on Netflix for a while.
The whole thing's on Hulu.
Yeah. I don't think the latest season is,
Hulu,
right?
Hulu's the only thing I don't have though.
What's the latest?
My mom has it. I need to just tell her to give it to me.
I don't even remember, honestly.
I'm too poor for this shit.
It has 14 seasons. Yeah, it's all on Hulu. Yeah.
Okay.
But that doesn't help me.
Yeah, it's all on Hulu.
Do you want to talk about, no.
Pee pee poo poo? That's always funny.
I hate you. What were we talking about at work?
My joke.
What was it?
So, I've never said this before.
No, not. Okay, go ahead.
But gooba glabagoo.
So he said that and no one laughed, and then he felt, and then I was like, no, it was funny, but like, you just said it to the wrong crowd completely.
I just like
you can't send it to Heidi and think it's gonna make sense. And Joey's just like tired as shit, and he's like, "What? He's probably didn't even hear the first part. He's like, he just heard you say gooby gaboo."
Thought he was having a stroke in the middle of work.
He probably just looked up, was like, "What the fuck's going on?"
Well, I kept going.
No, it's so funny because he was like, "I've never said this before, but glue blue blue blue," and I giggled.
It was like in the middle of an argument too.
Yeah, he was in the middle of an argument. He's like, "Well, you know what?" And then we all just like stared at him basically. I did giggle, but it was just like, I was like, I get it. That's fine. I wasn't like gut busting. You know, like when you watch like TV and you're like, this is funny, I acknowledge it, but like you're not gonna express that.
You do that little like nose like.
You go.
I was hoping it would like catch people off guard to the point that I'd be like just stop.
I think you have to get them in the right mood to laugh at something like that.
Well, I thought it was like perfect timing because we were like yelling at each other for some stupid shit.
Or you gotta hit them with something just like completely absurd.
Okay, now I remember what we were talking about. We were talking about.
But
if
hold on, back to the joke real quick.
Fine, go ahead.
I like kept going up to Tyler throughout the day and I was like, so that was funny, right? Like, was the delivery okay? I was like making Tyler
we made a joke. He said something like, okay, Shane said something like, I'm gonna beat you to cum or something like that. And I didn't. And so
I don't think that's.
It was something weird like that. It was something like that, and I was like, "What if you?"
Imagine myself saying
I was like, "What if you bullied someone so bad, and then they just came their pants?"
Oh my god!
And then we got Leland on it, and he's like, "Well, when I tie people up, that's basically what happens." And I was like, "Yeah, it's like you find a submissive person, but you don't know, and you're bullying them because you actually just don't like them." But then they're like, yeah. And then they just get off to it. And you're like, oh, wait, you just lose the fight. You lost.
There's nothing you can do.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do.
You can't bully them more because then they'll just come again.
There's literally nothing you can do. Like, you cannot make fun of them even. Like, you're just like, oh. You can't tell that story to anyone. Because you look like the loser. Like, you lost the fight. You lose. They win. So the ultimate self-defense is to just get off immediately whenever you're getting attacked. And then we turn that into being like, if you're upset, like we're like, all right, don't cum your pants over it. And that just doesn't make sense if you don't know the setup to the joke. Like, so we kept saying that to each other. If like, anyone listened to us, they're like, okay, what the fuck are they talking about?
It's like, don't get your panties in water. It's like, don't fucking cum.
Yeah, all right, don't fucking cum. That's what our day was.
Yeah.
And then
that's like 90% of our days.
Literally talking about jizz. That's what we do. Talk about jizz constantly. That's all we talk about.
I mean, yeah, we still reference Coffee Nut all the time.
Well, Coffee Nut is the best thing ever. Because you just go, I thought you said coffee nut. or you go, we literally did this joke on the last podcast. Yeah. But it's so funny, I will repeat it. Where you go, yeah, can I get a toffee nut, please? You want what? Are you sure? Okay. And then you go to the back and you come back and then...
That would be something on Always Sunny.
And then they go...
That Charlie does.
And they go... And you go, oh, so you got him that toffee nut? And you go, what? Toffee nut? I thought he said coffee nut. And then they already walked out and you drink your cum.
Then you're like...
Yeah, you know, womp womp. Please don't jerk off on people's food or drinks.
Unless it's consenting.
Yeah, but who would want that? I think even like very sexual gay people and women would not want cum in their food and drinks.
There's got to be some kind of
like the people, like the girls who get like cummed on in videos.
Cum in this?
The people who get like cummed on, like covered in cum, that's just for money. The girls don't want that. Like, I refuse to believe that. The videos where like they have bowls of cum and they just like drink it. That's not real.
Yeah.
That's because Japan is crazy. It has nothing to do with what people want. That's not real life. That's just money and porn.
Oh, did you come in?
That's like, no, like literally. Honey, did you put cum in?
They just take a bite. They're like, it's like,
hey,
it's like a commercial.
No, the girl's like, I'm not wearing any panties, and he's like, I just came in your coffee.
I just like
No, it's not real.
Like a commercial, she like takes a bite, puts a fork down. Honey,
yeah.
Did you come in this?
My favorite joke of all time is the moral Oral, where Oral's drinking his own piss.
Yeah.
And then Dad goes, I know this taste. And then he takes another taste. And he goes, yep. And then takes a third. Because something about a dad eating his own son's pee is really funny.
But like, he keeps doing it.
He just keeps going. He's like, yep. He just keeps going. He keeps going.
He drinks it like 5 or 6 times.
And like, it's like a weird break in the show's pace. Normally a show wouldn't do something like that. It's kind of breaking character for the dad, but they just roll with it because it's funny.
So funny.
Like, you know what? Let's just have him drink more of Oral's piss. Because God teaches you not to waste things.
Yeah.
Or something like that. That show's the best show.
That show's awesome.
It's so good. It's so immature. It's so funny. Yeah. So, so that's what we talked about today. It was kind of...
It's always something.
Yeah. It's always sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah. Heidi was like pissed off at me today. For like no reason.
I mean, that's Heidi.
Yeah.
We made her cry the other day. I'm not going to say who, because it wasn't me or Joey. And it wasn't Shane, because he wasn't there.
Was it?
No, don't say. But...
Was it?
But, like, the funny thing is that, like, she just stopped crying immediately after. Because she's like, okay, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because she'll cry over anything. And so she's like, even she knows, like, okay, I have to just calm down. Because, like, she's like, that was literally over nothing. It's just because if you tell her to do something, sometimes she'll go, oh, yeah, I understand. And other times she'll just start crying. You just have to catch her in the right mood.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's all a mood thing. Cause I remember there was
literally just how she feels.
Like...
a day where I was just, like, doing dishes with her, and we were having, like, a good time and laughing.
Yeah.
And then Joey walked in, and I turned, and I was like, oh, hey, what's up, Joey? And then I turned back, and she was, like, just sobbing.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? Oh,
yeah.
Like, what happened? And
no, it makes no sense at the time.
Yeah.
But
well,
I
like,
don't want to talk about Heidi too much.
No, yeah.
She was like,
and I'm not.
No. It's just the funny thing.
Yeah.
She was like pissed off at me, and usually when she's pissed off at me, she does it in like a joking way.
Yeah.
So every time she's pissed off at me, I just like make fun of her or something.
She just makes. I think she just likes calling you names. I think she knows that you guys play around that way.
Yeah.
So she just calls you names all the time.
Yeah,
but
it
like,
cracks me up.
but sometimes it's like she mixes in real feelings with the jokes. So
yeah.
It is this weird thing.
Sometimes I can't tell if she's joking or not.
Yeah.
And then she'll be like, I'm just messing with you. And I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah.
She'll be like, you fucking asshole.
Yeah.
You fucking piece of shit. I hate you.
Yeah.
And then you're like, what? And then she'll just like laugh really hard. But she'll be beat red and be like, well, how about you fucking leave then, you fucking asshole? And then be like, start laughing because she said fuck. Like, it's so fucking...
And then she's like, don't tell my mom.
Yeah,
like,
she's like, don't tell anyone I said that. Yeah, it's just funny. Like,
yeah.
You're drinking bread and water.
Yeah.
I don't even know where that came from.
I have no idea.
It
literally...
just like one day.
Yeah, no, she keeps telling Shane he has to only eat bread and drink water because he's been a bad boy. Does that not sound like something T2 would have said? Like, I don't understand why she starts saying that. Because he doesn't talk to her. Like, whenever he comes in, it's very rare. So I'm just like, what the fuck are you talking about?
It came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's just like, she's just like, because, okay, for people who don't know T2 or listening, T2 will go in and be like, you'll just be like, how are you today? And he's like, I'm a goblin. Like, it makes no sense. Like, he just says stuff that makes absolutely no sense.
I've been riding through the hellscape that is my life.
Yeah.
And
he'll do like a weird ass voice.
Yeah.
he'll be like, you know what? I'm like Igor. And I'm like, what? Like, he'll just be standing there and he's like, I'm like the freak. And he's like, what are you talking about? He just goes off. And that's what, and she's just like, all you can do is eat bread and water because you've been a bad boy. What do you do? He knows what he did. Like, it's like, all right.
Well, then, like, one day she was like, okay, now you can have bacon and bread. Or something
really?
like that, yeah.
You got upgraded.
I know. And then she went back down to bread and water.
Because you've been a bad boy. You're not doing it right.
I don't know.
I think she said something like you're like failing school or something.
She
just makes shit up.
I know.
She just makes up reasons to be mad at you. It's really good.
So funny.
It's really funny.
It's really funny. It's very entertaining.
Yeah.
It's not a slow moment, a dull moment
No.
with Heidi.
It's always fun working with her.
I always got something to say.
And you used that joke on her, and she was like in the middle of yelling at you for real, and you're like, well, blue, 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 blue. And she was probably like, fuck you. She's like, that's not funny. It's funnier in hindsight now. I probably would have laughed harder if I wasn't like feeling so awkward at that moment, but it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
I still laughed at it. So.
I was hoping it would like catch you off guard, and then you just like bust out laughing.
I wasn't gonna laugh that hard. I was like in the middle of doing shit too. So it was like,
sometimes when shit catches me off guard like that, I just start
you
laughing.
will just die randomly.
Yeah.
I mean, Jeremiah knows that. Like,
yeah.
You just say something and Shane will just randomly start like coughing up and can't like talk anymore. And
yeah, no, I'm pretty sure this song is actually called Teenage Wasteland.
Yeah,
like
yeah. Great time. I have to say though, that song plays way too much, and I skip it every time now.
Yeah.
I fucking can't stand that song anymore.
Well, like it's just like if something catches me off guard.
Yeah.
I'll just be like,
well, yeah,
whoa.
When something's really funny, but like you still have to process it, so you start thinking about it, and that makes you laugh even more.
It gets funnier the more you think about it.
Yeah. But also,
awesome.
You do have to be in the right mood to like laugh at stuff that's really funny. That's why like it's a good idea to marathon like Tim and Eric or Eric Andre, and like there's an episode of Eric Andre where he just continuously destroys his set and nothing happens. Yeah. And if you watch like 5 episodes before that. That will be the funniest shit. Like, we could not stop laughing. Like, me and my friends. And it was just me, like, my 3 guy friends, and his future wife. And she was just, like, staring at us while we were, like, literally hysterically dying. And we're like, stop the video. And she's just like, I hate you guys so much. Because to her, she's like, he's just breaking things. And you guys are laughing. They're like, you don't understand. There's been a build up to this moment for, like, 3 seasons. Yeah. Where he's just like, I'm gonna do an episode where I just keep breaking shit the entire time. I watched a lot of the new episodes, but I haven't watched all of them yet. I have to catch up. I'm like 4 or 3 behind.
Where are they at?
Weird janky websites.
Okay, because they're not on Hulu.
No, you have to actually have if you pay for like Adult Swim's website. I think if you just have cable, it'll work though.
Yeah.
Because if you use your cable provider, you can watch stuff on Adult Swim's website. Some websites are like that.
I mean, that's why I pay for streaming services, because I don't have cable.
Yeah,
like,
but Hulu won't show. Also, Bad Trip. Netflix has had Bad Trip for a long time now, and they just won't put it up. They bought Bad Trip for a lot of money, which is Eric Andre's movie with the Jackass directors.
Oh, okay.
It's basically like Bad Grandpa, but with Eric Andre instead of Johnny Knoxville, and Eric got to do a lot of the writing for the skits. And I'm like, yes, it's just an Eric Andre movie. Like, it's just a show, basically. That's all I want. It's him just being really annoying to people. And I can't watch it. And he's been talking about this since, like, the beginning of the year. And Netflix just owns it. They paid for it. And they just won't put it up. But they put up his special. Mm-hmm. So I know they don't hate him or anything. It's just like, okay, you put up the special. It did really well. You know people want this because you bought it for a reason. Put it up. But I guess their schedule is like they have to do other things first. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's really annoying. I want to watch it.
Elliot Page or Harry Styles?
We can do both because Ben Shapiro hates both.
Yeah.
Well, so Harry Styles first because that happened first.
Yeah.
This is our libtard hour.
Harry Styles wore a dress.
Yes.
Oh no.
Yeah. Like many musicians before him. He was a man wearing a dress.
David Bowie.
Yes.
Freddie Mercury.
Yes.
Kurt Cobain.
Yes. I mean, the list goes on and on. I mean, I'm not going to sit and name every example because literally pretty much any... Like, Twisted Sister just basically wore drag, like, all the time. Like, bands just did that. And I mean, if you look at 80s fashion and like, oh man, Ben Shapiro's such a fucking piece of shit liar. Yeah. In the 80s, everyone dressed feminine. Like, people on the streets dressed fucking feminine.
The band members of Kiss?
Yes.
Like,
Motley Crue?
Yeah.
No, that was literally the style. People, like, back then, men were like trying to show off their bodies in the same way women were. Like they all wore the same clothes. Mm-hmm. Like women dress more masculine and men dress more feminine.
Yeah, I don't know what he means by manly men.
People act like this is a new phenomenon because we have like transgenders now and we have non-binary and all stuff. But people were already dressing like the opposite sex for so fucking long before Ben Shapiro was born.
He's like,
so it's fucking
bring
retarded.
back manly men. Like what?
He's just talking about the 1950s. Like,
yeah, and they weren't manly back then either.
Yeah. They just wore a suit. Like
they
what
were
the
just
fuck?
no. They were actually most people were probably really scrawny. They didn't go to the fucking gym. We have the most manly men now we've ever fucking had. You know.
Although, like part of the, I kind of see what he's saying. I do wish America was more like healthy, basically. Like
but he's not. He's really not talking about.
Yeah. But
I think more Republicans would be in honor of doing whatever hazardous things you want to do to your body. Like I don't like Republicans are very for not banning trans fat. I kind of don't know where that's one of the issues that like actually both sides are kind of still gray. Like most issues, like if you're this side, you know where to go for.
Yeah.
But banning trans fats, people kind of stop talking about because it's not really, you can't sell that to liberals or to Republicans because some of them are just like, well, I do want to be healthier, and others like, I want to eat fucking McDonald's. Like,
I think you should be allowed to eat whatever you want.
Yeah.
But like,
I think it should be easier for healthier food to become accessible. That's the fucking issue. Healthy food costs more, and you have to know what you're fucking doing. No one stupefies it and just lets you order healthy food for, especially not for cheap.
Because they don't teach that shit in schools anymore either. Like how to like just cook like vegetables that taste actually good. You don't learn that. Like
and we don't. I mean, I'm sure there's still a lot of families that actually teach their kids how to cook and stuff, but my family didn't really do that, so I don't know. Like, my grandparents were great cooks, and I feel like that just kind of, like, that just didn't pass on.
That's just because of fast food and restaurants.
Yeah, that's probably it. It's just because things became easier to go out and stuff. But, yeah, I mean, but when you go out to eat, a lot of that is going to be unhealthy versus, you know.
Cooking at home.
Yeah, what you could be eating. And you don't always know what to look for, you know. I think they should teach how to like count your calories and stuff at school and stuff like that too, honestly. They might be doing that nowadays, but I don't know.
They kind of did it.
Yeah, like you last one to go to school, so.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
They kind of did it.
Because Michelle Obama was fucking about that shit.
She was all about those
Michelle Obama was
cauliflower pizza, like.
She's like, whoa, kids be fat as fuck. We gotta stop this shit. The British people are making fun of us. We should be making fun of their teeth right now. But
we give the British people so much ammunition.
Everyone makes fun of us and calls us we're cheeseburger munchers and stuff like that.
We shoot our children.
Yeah. We don't care if our kids die, and we make them really fat, so
they can't even run away.
You can't run from the fucking school shooter. You have no hope. And they're like, the only answer is more guns. And then
it's
just a war.
Sense.
It's literally Metal Gear Solid 4. If you guys, I know you guys haven't played it, but in that game, war has escalated to the point where it's the only way for if war stops, then the economy will crumble because that's just the way of life at that point. And so everyone's in a private military complex, and so like just everyone is just constantly at war with each other. Because Kojima's kind of making a point about George Bush and Barack Obama, you know, so, and America in general. And it's really cool because the guy's like, you're like, these are soldiers. And then they're like, yeah, but if you kill them, just remember, a lot of them just like have normal people. They just have families like you and me. They don't have a political agenda. They're just here fighting. Everyone here is fighting for nothing. Nobody has a reason to fight. So it kind of encourages you to just like knock them out silently or something like that, which is I like when games do that stuff. So
yeah, you can do that in Cyberpunk.
You can do it in most games that involve stealth.
But
you can ghost them.
In Cyberpunk, I'm like, no.
Well,
kill.
You know, there's everything. A game based in a Cyberpunk-like universe already called Deus Ex. And Deus Ex, they give you experience points for skipping over entire battle sequences. So you can still level up from doing stealth stuff. And as you upgrade, you get like, you can turn invisible and level up more. You can turn invisible longer and longer. And they give you other power-ups like that. But if you want to do a strength build, it's like, here's the ability to punch through walls. Here's the ability to have no fall damage. You can just jump from the highest point in the game and just fall fine. Like, here's the ability to not have any recoil when you aim. Like, so you can go at full action or full stealth, and both are really fun. Mm-hmm. Very good game.
I think, like, Cyberpunk's more fun if you kill everyone.
Probably, yeah.
Instead of trying to go for the stealth.
Donkey said the stealth seems kind of silly. I will say when you grab someone, I usually like in games when you can grab someone and hold them hostage, but it does look very goofy.
Yeah, and then you just go.
You just kind of grab them, and then for the animation, he didn't kill him, he just put him in the box. So he didn't hit him or anything, he just goes, all right, here you go. And all he did was grab him and go, all right, now you're in the box.
Well, whenever I did it next to the box, she would like slam his head on the box and throw him in.
But it's like, I don't know, it's still weird how they don't fight you back at all. Yeah. But it's hard to do animations like that in first person, and I respect them for making the entire game first person. So,
well, you can drive in third person.
That's fine.
Yeah,
that's totally fine. But don't make it.
I like driving.
But I like it.
Yeah, first person driving is terrible.
Yeah, it's totally fine to do it in third person
especially
for driving,
when
but
frame rate shot.
Console versions of. It's funny because the only way to play on console is to have like a next gen or the One X, and then you can't even get the next gen consoles. But then also the game is only on last gen. The next gen version of the game's coming out later, so it's like it's because it got delayed so much. So I kind of understand. I'm not gonna hate on it too much. They're getting a lot of hate right now. I was skeptical with you, and now I feel bad because so many people are hating on it for the wrong reasons. Mm-hmm. You should never hate a game because it's buggy. I know that's like a cop out, but like they do get patched. Hate a game if the art direction is bad. If the game is bad itself, hate the game.
CD Projekt Red is very good at fixing bugs.
Yes,
they will hop right on that.
It's just that it does suck when a game is buggy at launch, and it is funny. Make fun of it all you want, please. Entertain me. The glitch where the guy's dick was popping out through his pants. I was like, dude, it's like you have your pants unzipped and your dick's out. I love it. Donkey,
maybe that wasn't a glitch.
Donkey was like, I'm gonna change my pants now, and like it just never has the boxers on. Yeah. It's like, why do I have to keep seeing my dick? And then he started walking out. He's like, all right, I'm gonna show everyone my dick while I walk around. And he's like, no one's saying anything. He looks down. He's wearing his boxers. And like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
I want my dick out. Yeah, that game. It's the first game where you can just make a character model and look at them naked. So what do you think about that? I feel like 5 years ago this would have been controversial, but no, literally everyone just loves this.
Yeah.
People are like, this is the reason why I'm getting it.
Yeah. I think it's awesome.
I think people don't care because it's like trans inclusive. Because it's like the SJW's like, well, I'm not going to complain because it's the only game where you can have the bottom not match the top. And so people are like, just fine with it. And everyone else is like, I want to see my dick flop. It's so funny because you would think in a game where you can make a naked woman, everyone would be like, I'm going to make the hottest naked. But they're just like, I'm making a dude. I'm giving a big dick. And that's like how people are playing the game. And I'm like, you know what? This is a very interesting kind of experiment.
Yeah. I made a really hot chick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, first you made a chick with a dick. And then you just made a chick.
Yeah. The dick made me very uncomfortable.
My friend showed me his character, and it was a chick with a dick, and I knew he was going to do it because he always says vaginas are gross. I knew he was going to make a chick with a dick, and it just looks weird. Like,
it does
because it's not supposed to be there. But the thing is that
it just like I don't know. It just made me uncomfortable.
A lot of people prefer it, and especially nowadays, it's really popular.
The vagina in that game doesn't even like.
It doesn't. It's not like really there.
Yeah.
Like you can't really show like a graphic spread open vagina. So you have to
show a huge fucking cock.
Yeah, but you can't show it hard though.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You can show a flaccid penis, and you can show like a very inny vagina that like
it's literally like
nothing, only like the outer labia. You can't show like any inner parts at all. So yeah, it's just gonna be like literally a line. I want like a fucking. I want to like do when you crouch down, just fucking opens and you hear the like. I want to hear it like slip apart. But it is funny. You can give them like big pubes.
Yeah.
I love that. It's like, but okay, I hate that you can't adjust the body fat or the weight at all. But you can give them like custom pubes and give them hair color, like different hair colors for their pubes. Like, okay, don't spend this much time on dicks and pubes and not give me like body stuff, okay?
They spent way too
like,
much time.
let me
on
make
dicks.
a broad dude. I don't want like a skinny fit dude. I want like a broad dude.
They spent too much time on dicks. That's why the game's
Also,
all buggy.
the hairstyle, I don't like a lot of the hairstyles, but it's supposed to be stylized. And it does make sense if you're in the future, you wouldn't have the same hairstyles you have nowadays.
My chick's hairstyle is like...
Did you just give her like short hair or something? Or
it's like hair that goes down to here.
it's like your hair.
Yeah.
But on a chick.
But it like stops here.
Like a bob? Like a Karen haircut?
No.
No, but there are some of those in the game, but...
I'll send a picture of it.
But,
sometime if I remember.
My friend made a chick with just like short hair, because why not? But it's like... It is cool. They have like a lot of like the... Like when Skrillex, you know, how he has like... His head's like all shaved, but he has like the hair that like drapes over.
Yeah.
They have stuff like inspired by that. It's like it looks 80s, but it looks like what people in the 80s thought would be what we'd have later, which is a cool idea. I do like the style of the game. I just don't like the hairstyles. They all look pretty bad to me. I'm probably gonna make a character that looks nothing like me on purpose.
Yeah, it's just like
probably make a big black dude with a giant penis and huge pubes.
It like looks,
and a big beard, big bushy beard.
My chick's
and
hair
just always be naked.
Looks like mine, but like stopped at the jaw and wavy.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember what you showed me. Yeah, I don't know. It's a cool idea. I'm really glad. I want games to have nudity, because they did on the PS2 for a while. And I don't want it to have nudity to sell sex. I want to have nudity to legitimize games. Like, because everyone loves Game of Thrones, and it's just like tits galore. And games could be the same way. Everyone likes Orange is the New Black, but you just have to do tits in a way that's respectful.
Yeah.
And dick.
Yeah, no.
Like
GTA has dick in it.
Yeah.
It's just GTA is fucking baller like that.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I've never seen a dick in GTA.
You can see Trevor's dick. There's a scene where he's like,
I have seen that.
Yeah, I forget what they're doing.
He
but
like fucks a teddy bear or something.
Yeah, he just like has his pants down still, doesn't care, and he like bends over and you can just like see his cock and balls like in the shot. But also there's
that's fitting for his character.
There's NPCs you can find that are tackling a woman, and they're both pantsless, and she's like, those men are crazy, and they're like, are you okay, man? What were they trying to do? And she's like, I don't know. It was just weird. It's like, is this rape or not? But it's not rape. It's just a weird situation. And then you start talking about boomers, like straight up. They start talking about boomers because those guys were boomers. Because GTA is fucking dumb as shit, and they always want to talk about like political stuff. So, but they literally say the words boomers. And if you pick him up as like Franklin, he'll be like, I'm a millennial. And if you pick him up with Michael, he'll be like, yeah, I'm Gen X. I think the kids are the future though, and blah blah blah. Like they always just like want to make fun of the boomers, basically.
Yeah. And
they literally will be like, you're just like driving this chick to like the location you need to drive her to, and she's like, did you know boomers had it the easiest with their economy and blah blah blah, blah. Like, because it's GTA, they just talk about politics the whole time. So
in the story,
yeah, well, it's like a side, you know, like you can just like find people. It's one of those. You just be driving, and most people are just like going on a dirt bike super fast, going off road. But if you actually are trying to drive the right way, you might see like people on top of each other, and if you get out and you fuck with them, you're like, hey, you guys are attacking a woman and your dicks are out. So games will have dicks sometimes, but it's very rare. But like, I just want nudity in general. I don't need graphic hardcore vagina spread open, but I do want like just things to be more legitimate with gaming. I want them to be more legitimate as an art form. When I played Death Stranding, and people are like, games are dumb, and I'm like, I did not play a walking simulator for 50 hours for you to tell me this is a fucking kid's game, okay? Show me some respect, please. I did not play Amazon delivery games just for you to make fun of me. So,
was it seriously 50 hours?
It's a lot of back and forth. Now, the thing is that people will be like, Red Dead 2, game of the year, 140-hour long campaign. Most of it is very generic missions. Best game ever. But the story's actually good, and it has really good direction. That's why people like it. But like the actual missions, half the time are fucking bullshit. Most of the time, you're just riding a horse talking to a dude. I like Final Fantasy VII is one of my favorite games of all time. The Final Fantasy VII Remake, instead of having like people talking with dialogue boxes like an old school RPG, it's just a character walks and you walk behind them and they talk to you. Because so many modern games do that shit. They all do this thing where the game is loading, So a character's going to walk and talk with you before your mission. It's fucking annoying. Nobody likes it.
It's in Cyberpunk.
It's in Uncharted. It's in Last of Us. Get this shit out of my games. This is why I play Sonic 3.
The Arkham games are really bad about that too.
Yeah. Well, at least in Arkham, when like Batman calls someone, you can just skip it. But you don't want to skip it because you want to hear the dialogue.
Yeah.
But if you already know the dialogue, you can just fucking skip it. But in like other games where you have to walk and talk, you just like wish I was fighting something right now. They do it to break up the pace, but like there's better ways to break up the pace. You know?
I mean, they're getting actual like directors involved in games now too, with like who's the one we just saw in the Game Awards, Christopher Nolan?
Yeah. I don't know if he's doing anything with a game, but George R. R. Martin, wrote the Game of Thrones book, well, A Tale of Fire and Ice, if you want to be a cool nerd. He's doing a game with From Software, who does Dark Souls, so it's like, this is a weird combination, but you guys are both filthy rich and successful, so why not? So
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. But I like the blending of Japanese and Western stuff. That's why I like Metal Gear Solid, because Hideo Kojima being like, I want to make a fucking American action movie. And then in Death Stranding, he's like, I fucking love Norman Reedus. I just like Norman Reedus. He's cool. I'm making a game with Norman Reedus in it. Like, I like that. I like the blending of the styles. Kingdom Hearts is an example everyone would hate, but it's literally Disney and anime together, and people hate that, but it's fucking hilarious. The new character that was announced in Smash, Sephiroth, he's in both Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 as like a bonus super boss that's like really fucking hard. You have to like memorize the patterns, and he has an obnoxious amount of health. But like, he's like the ultimate bad guy in Final Fantasy VII, and then like there's a scene where Donald Duck's like, "It's Sephiroth!" And it's like, Donald Duck is talking to Sephiroth. This is the best thing in the world. Don't, like, you guys all want to hate on it, but just to be clear, Donald Duck talks to the most edgelord character of all time while it plays like this orchestra song about like you're gonna die soon. And it's like, this is amazing. So I like that Western Japanese fusion stuff in games. That's why I like Resident Evil. That's the best example. It's Resident Evil. It's like, we're making an American game, but we're a super Japanese company, so we're gonna put some dumbass shit in it. Love it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think American games are getting a lot better now too.
Yeah, it's not just Call of Duty.
Where is CD Projekt Red located? Is it Finland,
or is something like that?
Or is it? I really wish
Sweden.
It's one of those. I really wish I actually.
They're the same country. I'm not wrong.
There's a fucking. It's one of them. It's not one of the popular ones though, but it's one that when someone says it, you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Norway?
No, but I don't know, maybe actually. But
Greenland?
But
Iceland?
Stop naming them.
Europe? They're from Europe.
Yes. They're from a non-English speaking country is what I'm getting at. But like, that's because they're an indie studio, and indie studios can be from anywhere. But I'm liking that more studios are popping up, because American games sucked for the whole 360 generation, in my opinion, and they need to like catch up. And now they are finally making good games. So yeah. Anyway, well, we have an hour-long podcast now. Oh, we didn't talk about Elliot Page. We just
Poland.
Yeah. Okay, we didn't talk about Elliot Page. Me and you had talked about this at work a lot, so we kind of already used our ammunition outside of the podcast.
I don't really have any thoughts on it anyway.
Do you want to just save it?
No, we can talk. Well, it's only gonna take 5 seconds.
Yeah.
But what you said was something I already told my little brother. I was like, damn, Shane said it before me.
What?
But you like Elliot Page, as Ellen Page, already wore, like, she was already basically a boy anyway.
Yeah.
Like, she wore men's clothes. She's dating women. She looked like a boy. Yeah. She just looked like a dude with a ponytail. Like, yeah. She was already there. She was like a butchy lesbian. Yeah. And so when people are like, "What? She's gonna be a man now?" It's like, yeah, no, but like the steps were there. Like, there was a process that we all followed along with. So it's not like it's that crazy.
The only thing with it is like, if they announce how they're gonna keep doing Umbrella Academy.
They just said that Elliot's gonna play the same character.
Okay.
That's all I
And
said.
I don't even watch that show anyway,
And,
so
like,
it was like...
Some people are like, Ben Shapiro was literally like, isn't that cultural appropriation? No, first of all, there's not a male culture. Cultural appropriation is when like people wear like Chinese shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. This is not. But,
and even then, like, you can do that respectfully.
yeah, and a
Like-
lot of those cultures are fine with it if you do it respectfully. I think one of the best examples is Ghost of Tsushima is super popular in Japan, despite the fact it's an American-made game about Japanese culture, and Japan has a bajillion video games already, but they'd rather play the American game about Japan because if it's done right, it's done right. People respect greatness no matter what. But fuck, I was gonna say about Elliot Page.
Men play women all the time.
Yeah,
women play men all the
Elliot,
time.
basically, it's like, okay, it's clearly an acting role.
Yeah.
Oh, so Ben was saying like, now Elliot can only play men, can't play women anymore. And I'm like, no, it's literally like you're thinking about it way too hard.
Yeah. Do you not understand the premise of acting?
Yeah.
Where you play a different person?
And he was like, well, and once he's like, and if Elliot's playing a man, I'm not gonna be able to take that seriously. And I'm like, okay, but eventually, I'm assuming, because the way it works is you take blockers that stops your current hormones, and then you take the other hormone.
She didn't even say she was gonna do that, though, did she?
I mean,
Like, she didn't say he didn't say he was trans.
It's
just...
yeah, they didn't say they're transitioning, but it's like it's assumed that you would eventually.
Okay, yeah.
You'd want to be more comfortable in your body.
Yeah, well, like I haven't read that many interviews or anything because a lot of people are just kind of sensationalizing it right now.
Yeah,
it's hard to find actual real data.
it's not
Especially
an
'cause-
actual big deal either, because it doesn't affect anyone.
No, because it's
Like,
Elliot's gonna keep doing the same roles that he's in anyway, so it's just kind of like really silly. And also, here's the thing: if you say she and her still, it's fine. No one's gonna actually cancel you. Like when Jordan Peterson was like, they're gonna put you in jail if you misgender people.
yeah.
That's not gonna happen. He was like, they're doing it in Canada. We're doing it in Canada. They never were doing that in Canada. They were never talking about doing that in Canada. And no one should judge you because this is literally just happening. Like, you know Ellen Page, the person. You don't know Elliot Page yet.
I still...
Yeah, like,
I
if
still...
Totally fine to fuck that up.
If you
In a few years, you need to get it right. But right now, go ahead, fuck it up.
When I
if you go
still
to
mess
a-
up with, like, Caitlyn Jenner. Like,
I don't. That one's easy
well,
for me.
for me, it's whenever I'm talking about the difference between, like, the Olympian and the Kanye West
Yeah. Like,
mother-in-law or whatever. Like, yeah.
well, like if you go up to a person who looks like a woman
exactly.
and you say her or you reference her as she,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Oh, I'm actually trans," and you're like,
Like,
"Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't
Well-
like how could I how." They're not gonna get pissed off at you because obviously you can't tell.
All right, I'll tell you guys before this episode ends. I'll tell you guys a story of I was hanging with my friend, who we were friends in high school, but when she went to college, I didn't really know any of her new friends, and so we were eating at Peel, and then this chick and a dude come up and sit down across from us, and she's like, "Oh my god, those are my friends," and she's like, "We don't have to stay with them if you don't want." And I was like, "I'll do it. I don't care. I'll talk to anyone," and we were making lots of jokes. I was making a bunch of dicks and cum jokes. And they were they were cracking up. They were loving it. Because I know my friend, and I know I can get... And so I was like, I'm assuming that her friends are similar. Yeah. So I'm out the gate talking about dicks and cum. And I like to say cream when I talk about jizz, so I kept saying cream, because their cream was on the menu. I'm just being super immature here. And I'm talking about jizzing constantly, and they were all laughing, and the person there... The dude was just playing Animal Crossing on their phone. And I was like, that's sus. Something is off here, but I can't call it. And then they're talking about their job, and they're like, I swear, none of the people, my boss or no one, wanted to do the right thing and like call the authorities about this thing we got. And I was like, that's what a woman would do. A woman would fucking complain to the man to do something.
Yeah.
And I was like, this person is fucking gay. This person's gay as fuck. And then I was like, okay, whatever. I was like, because I thought they maybe their boyfriend, girlfriend. I'm like, oh no, it's her gay best friend. And then my friend in the car was like, yeah, you probably couldn't, like, she was like, yeah, you probably knew, it was probably obvious that they were trans. And I was like, what? I thought they were gay. I was like, they're trans? I was like, no, I had no clue.
Yeah.
I thought it was a dude. Like, and it is a dude. But like, the thing is my friend was like, her voice literally just changed like last week. Her voice got really fucking low and deep.
Yeah.
But like, no, I'm talking, it looked like a geeky dude. Like, he had the shoulders, he had the jaw, and his voice was like lower than mine. I was like, this is a fucking man. So when people are like, oh, you can't tell, or you're gonna call him the wrong, it's not that hard. Like, you're not even gonna know.
Right.
You're just gonna talk, and they're gonna say something. You're like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you're gonna know.
Well, like if someone's
Or they're gonna go,
well,
well, I don't have a penis. You're like, what?
or if someone's like just beginning to transition.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. I thought we were gonna whip out our dicks together. But yeah, what you're saying, Shane?
Like if someone's just beginning to transition, you miss. Like,
and so
they're not gonna be super pissed.
And some people do choose to just not take anything, no hormones or anything. But most people who are gonna transition, well, most people who refer to themselves as trans have some sort of case of body dysmorphia. I'm going to assume Elliot Page has it because of the way he dresses, because he dresses like a man and stuff like that. And I would say there's a transgender woman I used to watch who was just a huge atheist, and I watched Atheists as one of those people. And they said that in high school, when they would go to the locker rooms, they would literally cover their chest while changing. They didn't want anyone to see their chest, even though like they were straight up just like a dude at that point.
Yeah.
But they didn't know why. They didn't know why they felt like that. And I was like, that's crazy. Like, when people say that to you, it's so crazy to say trans people can't exist and body dysmorphia can't exist, when they like straight up are afraid to show their like pecs. So it's like, yeah, no, it's totally real. I don't know how people say it's fake.
That's odd too, because that's a cultural thing.
Yeah.
Like,
no, well, that's
like,
I'm assuming it's just
female
being around women or something like that. You pick that up, but I don't know. But it's just like, it's a weird thing to explain, because some people are like, oh, you're born that way. Maybe it's just the way you're raised. Maybe it's something to do with something. It's probably a combination of a lot of things. But like, at the end of the day, we don't have the answers of how we always get there, but we have the solutions for what to do after. So there's no reason to just not follow up on the solution. There's no reason to be like, religious people have the same thing with pray the gay away. They're just like, well, you're just not supposed to be gay, so therefore, it's like, come on, just imagine if you weren't allowed to jerk off to hentai. Imagine if that was the sin, and you're gonna tell people they can't jerk off to hentai. Fuck no. There'd be a fucking revolution.
Well, I always say like,
which
like,
I always say
imagine saying like
you don't have to tell your parents you're gay if it makes you uncomfortable. Imagine if you told your parents you jerked off to hentai.
Yeah.
That would make no sense. Just don't tell them. There's no reason to tell them that.
I'm always like, why do you force people to have sex with people they're not like? It's me saying you have to have sex with men.
Yeah. No.
Even though you don't like it.
No. Imagine if you like. I don't know what a good comparison. It's not super offensive, but like, fuck. I feel like I have to say it now. But imagine if you're not allowed to fuck skinny women. You have to fuck enormous fat women. It's like, what? I don't want to. Right. You're problematic. I'm sorry. You're canceled. It's like, okay, well, cancel me. And that's what happened. Gay people were like, okay, fine. Hate me. I don't give a shit. I'm trying to get off. I'm trying to bust a nut over here. So that's the thing. It's like, just let people, I mean, yeah, it's just a weird thing because like they're obviously distraught over it. So you should be looking for a solution. You can't just be like, well, you suck, get good, and then just like hope they die or something. It's not viable.
Yeah.
So I really am only invested because I just want to make fun of Ben Shapiro. So I just hate Ben Shapiro so much.
I hate him
and
too.
Especially Steven Crowder, who also has talked a lot about this. It's so funny how like the right is like, people on the right are trying to be like, we don't hate gay people, I swear. And then Steven Crowder in 2020 is calling people fags. Like, it's just like, your leaders are not representing that if that's your messaging, because Ben Shapiro and Steven Crowder just fucking hate gay people.
I don't think people realize why faggot's so offensive.
Yeah.
And I actually learned this from Always Sunny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
This
is this when Mac? Like, when is this?
This is when Frank says, "Watch out, faggot," to Mac.
What?
As like
Wait,
a piano's about to
he
crush
hasn't
him.
seen that. That's from
Oh,
one.
really?
That's from one of
Yeah.
the last couple seasons
Yeah,
there.
that's so funny.
Yeah, because
Like,
isn't he
so-
comes out as gay eventually, doesn't he?
Yeah.
That's the episode he comes out as gay. And
Oh, he
says-
keeps us watch out, fag.
No, it's so he's like about to get crushed by a piano,
Yeah.
and Frank just says, "Watch out, faggot!" Like from across the street. Like instead of saying "Watch out, Maggie," he says "Watch out."
And then Charlie kicks him.
Yeah.
Kicks Mac.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. I thought you just
but-
kicked
and
Frank.
then
Like,
No.
you can't say that. That'd be funny to me.
And they're all like arguing why fag is such a bad word. And Mac's
Yeah.
like, "Do you know what faggot means? It's a
Yeah.
bundle of sticks. What do you do with a bundle of sticks? You burn them.
Yeah.
So you're saying that fags should burn?
Yeah.
Like all gay people should burn?
Yeah. Well, that's what people always make the excuse like in fucking Europe it's cigarette, and it's like, okay, well, why would you call someone an insult that means cigarette? Clearly you're talking about the other meaning.
Right.
Clearly you're being homophobic.
Yeah.
If you're saying faggot, that's what you mean.
I think there's room for it to be funny too.
No, it is.
Like-
it can be anything offensive can be really funny.
Yeah.
Like in that instance,
But it has to be
Always
done.
Sunny.
You have to do it right. Just like how you can't just go around saying blue 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 blue. You have to set up. You have to get people.
I did.
You have to get people in the mood to hear faggot, like, or like a rape joke. You can't just be like, "So I saw rape the other day." Like, it won't work. You have to get people ready to laugh at something like that.
Yeah.
Like,
I thought Always Sunny did it like really well.
yeah, always. Sunny.
They're always
Well, when
solid.
you watch Always Sunny, you're already like, all right, they're gonna something fucking horrible that's not even funny is going to happen. Like,
You have to brace yourself.
because like they'll just straight up like, yeah, I ruined my life by huffing. Like they just like straight up like Charlie's like, oh, I'm gonna huff now. Like it's so bad and
When,
tasteless. Like
D overdoses on glue.
Yeah.
And Charlie's like, "Yeah, that'll happen."
yeah,
Or he's like, "Yeah, you just had a glue overdose."
Yeah, you had a bad glue trip. Like you don't want to leave the apartment like that. Like
yeah. So you have to. And the thing is, people always are like, I think in the 2016 times, people were worried about like being too offensive and getting canceled. But I think nowadays people know how to walk the line. I think Bill Burr is like the god of that right now.
Bill Burr and Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, they know how to like tiptoe
And
the line. But you know,
honestly,
why?
if you watch the new Louis stand up,
No, he had to.
it's all on YouTube.
Okay, yeah, because no one's gonna support
Yeah.
it. I mean, I might watch it. I think people are too hard on him, but I do agree that like there should be some sort of punishment if you sexually harass people. But
What he did was fucked up, but they gave him the same treatment as like
Yeah,
fucking Harvey Weinstein and
Yeah.
like
yeah,
Bill
but
Cosby,
I know,
and it's
but-
not the
but
same.
Weinstein and Cosby are in jail, and he's not. So like,
But at the time,
yeah,
they
no,
gave him the
people
same
looked
treatment.
at him really poorly, and I think he just kind of got swept in with people who did way worse things. But like, I do think there should be some kind of bad thing that happens to you, but like, I don't know.
Right.
But what was I gonna
Now,
say?
yeah.
Oh, but all I will say is the reason why Bill Burr and Dave Chappelle and for a long time Louis, because Louis his show is fucking still gold. I love that show. If you've ever watched it, it used to be on FX, and now you probably can't find it anywhere.
it's probably on. Oh no,
No,
because
it used to be on Hulu.
yeah,
It used to be on Hulu. But I would watch the episodes on Netflix and stuff too. I would when I had the DVR, I would actually record them and just they're moving. They're like they're actual art. But then like he'll just be like, "Fuck, can you watch my kid? What? Why? I don't want to say why. Can you just watch my kid? Just tell me why. I really gotta go to the bathroom. Well, just go. It's not gonna take long. Just take him to the bathroom with you. No, I have to take a shit." And they just start laughing at him, and they're just like, "I'm not helping you," and that's like a whole like 15 minutes of this shit. You're just like, wouldn't it be funny if I just But like the show itself is like it's high art. It's so good. But the reason why those three are so good at it is because they're not actually pieces of shit. Like they don't like they
They don't
believe
say it for shock value.
they do believe in like a lot of the same moral stuff that the SJWs believe in. Like they're like us. Like we would defend a lot of like injustices, but they just want to talk about immature stuff and make it funny, and that's what they do.
when they're like, they actually are like clearly thinking about what they're saying.
Yeah,
in all their stand-ups, like where
yeah.
they're like, Louis' last stand-up before he got canceled,
yeah,
where he was like, okay, so like, Does anyone ever think about the fact that, like, the reason people are against abortion is because they think that it's killing babies, and that if you thought someone was killing babies, you'd be really mad?
Yeah.
They're wrong,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
they do think people are out there killing babies. Like,
Yeah, that's
you should be mad about
that's
that.
why they're
Like,
mad. Yeah.
yeah, like, and he's like, but they are wrong. Like, they're dead wrong. But like,
he had a joke once where he's like, one time I was in first class and I saw a guy come in and he was a vet, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this really nice thing. I'm gonna let him sit in first class. He's not really a hero. He's actually like a piece of shit. Like he's done horrible atrocities. However, like it would just be such a nice thing to do. He's like, but I was too chicken to talk to him, so I didn't do it. But I thought about it. I thought I could be really nice to get in my first class seat. But yeah, it's I like when he does that stuff too. I mean, that's what I always say about abortion too, though, is that it's like people they just read lies and they see like photoshopped dead babies and like, oh what? And then like Shane showed me one that was like a decapitated baby head, and I was like, that's so clearly fake, because they do not like pull the heads off. It might get like mangled sometimes, maybe, I don't know. But what they do is they just pull the whole thing out. Like it's an embryo still. It definitely does not have a fucking baby's head. They pull the whole fucking thing out. What an actual abortion would look like would probably be way more terrifying than anything they can come up with, because it's not quite human yet. Like, have you seen, like, they look like fish people when they're not all the way developed? It's fucking unsettling as shit. I hate looking at, whenever people show miscarriages, it's like the most sickening thing ever. Like, don't show me a miscarriage, please.
The fetus in PT.
Yeah. It's very much based off of like
the long head.
Yeah, it has like fish eyes. Like it's based off of like that shit.
When I was in
terrifying. Terrifying.
They have tails. Yeah. Embryos have tails.
I don't like to think about what we looked like at that stage, because they
have tails.
But then people see that and they tell me God exists. You disgust me. Like, if God would make something like that, then clearly he's not a good person.
I don't know why my.
But anyway, yeah.
They have tails. Little itty bitty tails.
I have an itty bitty tail. Alright, we gonna end this one or not? Are we gonna end this one or not?
Yeah.
What do you want to say?
Should I do what I've been doing?
Yeah. Well, let's do a little. I like doing a little outro.
Okay.
Even though we literally never do it.
We've done it a couple times.
This is kind of the outro now because I'm forcing it.
Yeah.
Because I want to put the song here.
This is technically an outro now. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm making it happen.
Yeah.
Okay, we can wrap it up.
Thank you for listening. It's been a great time. We had a great fun. Lots of time.
A lot of laughs.
Funny
joke.
Funny laugh.
You ever remember some of the older Oni plays? They'll be like, "Who is this funny man?" They just keep calling everything funny. Like, wow, that was like,
what's this black character?
The little character, the little critter. When he says critter or character, yeah. They used to always be like, "Whoa, look at this funny man." They're like, I love Crash Bandicoot. He's so funny. They just say funny in a serious tone.
I know. But seriously though, thank you for listening.
All right, see you.
This is a Wasteland podcast signing out.
What did you say?
Texas is dumb.
Don't you dare take take the name of Texas in vain.
You mean we can't say anything bad about dumb old Texas?
No, you can't.
Oh, then can we say people from Texas are dumb?
No, you can't say nothing about Texas.
Look, Patrick, I'm Texas. Howdy, y'all.
I'm Texas too.
Howdy, y'all.
Get a dog, little Longy. Get a dog.
Howdy, y'all.
Get a dog, little Longy.
Hey, Patrick, what am I now?
Stupid?
No, I'm Texas.
What's the difference?